But to have it all right here and actually have it be ours, you know, that's the thing. We're super lucky to travel around the Bay Area and go to different places and see different awesome courses too, and they more than welcoming. But to have something your own, it adds a little pride. You know, our guys are really proud of this space. You know, it's funny, I get texts all the time like, who's the random guy at the end of the range, coach, you know, because they're keeping an eye out. It's their home.
Why don't you introduce us to the team?
Yeah, we can talk to a few of these guys here. We got Kush Aurora down here, who's one of 2 lefties on the team this year. Yeah, he's not a lone soldier.
Hey, Kush, how you doing?
Yeah.
You and I have met. Good to see you.
Local
You've grown up a little bit since I first met you.
Kush has been in the gym. He's been practicing hard. He's a local product. I'm Amador Valley High, so grew up over at Ruby Hill. I know you've done quite a bit coverage of different events.
All right, give us your stock driver.
It's definitely his weapon.
Oh, we put you under pressure, Kush, and you didn't disappoint.
That's pretty good. So our next guy, the next victim here is Jay Lang, freshman from San Diego. Just got in from spring break. Yeah, this is. So Jay's was one of the top recruits in the country. We're pumped that he's here. He's had a really nice season. Torrey Pines High product. So we see some of these guys, the Michael Kims of the world playing so well. Jay's carrying that torch for the Torrey Pines guys.
Okay, what's your stock iron shot here? That hits a lot of greens.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jay.
Next guy on the list here, Pete's Logan Kim, who he's from SoCal. Gosh, I mean, you watch Logan hit it.
Logan, how are you? Logan, nice to meet you. Good to see you.
Super impressed. Everyone watches Logan hit the driver, and we're all just like, holy mackerel, we're envious. So that's his strength, and doing a great job his freshman campaign.
That just has a different sound to it.
Yeah, a little speed. You know?
Nice shot.
This is our.
Good to see you.
You and I know each other, yeah.
Yeah, B-Ma's in the house for a 5th year. Brian, local product. He's a proud MIDI grad, just down the road here. Has already finished with a degree at Harvard in economics, and he's here for a 5th year for us and doing great.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
There's time for work later. You have to play the tour. Now.
Brian is pretty fun. Just to tell you a little story, Brian, we've known each other a long time, but when he took a year off during COVID when he was playing for the Harvard team, and he actually spent a lot of time here working and practicing. So would like to think it was kind of paying it forward with his time here as a 5th year now.
Yeah.
But Brian's doing a great job, and
we met
had a bunch of success.
Did you win the San Francisco City, or you?
Back in 2017.
You won the San Francisco City. So you know we just wrapped up yesterday, and we had Mitchell Hoey won, but you're a past champion of the San Francisco City.
It was a long time ago, but I was.
Were you in high school then?
I was in high school. I was 16. I was about 25 pounds lighter than I am now.
All right, you're reigning champion
of the Silicon Valley Amateur.
Yeah, Ethan Gao from Atlanta, Georgia, just flew in from his 2 days of spring break.
Beautiful, Ethan.
Gouster's had a great run for us. He's in the lineup consistently.
Nice to see you.
Yep.
Thanks.
Pete, I know you're a student of the game. He's got these big, thick grips. He says that's the wave of the future. He and Bryson are they're rocking it. So I think you should get a set of these.
It's just not oversized. That is the Bryson. That's the Jumbo Max right there.
That's big right there.
Yeah. And when did you go to that?
So I actually switched to a smaller version of these over last summer, and I got them even bigger over the winter, right before the Silicon Valley.
Where do you notice the change, and what part of that range of the irons?
I would say mostly the longer irons, because I tend to overswing with the old grips, and these kind of help me keep it nice and controlled.
Okay, let's get a long iron out. That is wonderful.
I probably should show you this, Pete, just a little walkthrough here.
I mean, we can't live in the past, but if you're Stanford, you kind of can. From Tom Watson to Sandy Tatum.
Yeah, you might enjoy a few of these bags. We have it covered up. This space is indoor-outdoor, so the guys can come in here, check their lies and lofts, get a stretch, work on their putting, change a grip. This is kind of a catch-all building for us that we're proud of. The guys are in here a lot. So this is for the men's and women's teams, this facility. It's not a different facility, so you are seeing each other a lot. Exactly right. We work very close with the women's team. They're awesome. I mean, Ann Walker, our women's coach, has done an awesome job building her program, her culture. They're #1 in the country by a long shot this year. She's National Coach of the Year. So it's fun to have that synergy in the building and on the facility where both the men and women are close, they're working hard, and winning is definitely part of what we're trying to do. And yeah, our players on both teams are close. They inspire each other. They're in each other's classes. You know, the one unique thing about Stanford is almost 100% of all students live on campus all 4 years. So once you're here, you know, you make your friends and you kind of get in your routines and go from there. There's this community here where excellence is expected. It's not an outlier, and so I think the people that you mentioned just like that, love the place for that reason. You can go to school, do your craft, get better, kind of do it on your terms and not have it feel like you can't walk down the street and not get mobbed, right? So it's fun to see. That's what's special about this space too. We have a really supportive group of donors that help underpin maintenance, but it's a who's who of Silicon Valley, and they're all golf nuts. But the whole premise of the place is, hey, it's a low key but super high-end practice experience, and I think our teams reap the reward of that.
There's not a country club that has this.
Really, the best part of the facility is with 6 green complexes, you can go out on the facility and find any shot, any sand variation. We have 6 different grades of bent grass on the greens out of the 6 complexes, so every green complex plays a little differently. You're only kind of limited by your imagination, we say, when we set up practices and that type of thing. We definitely enjoy that part of it too. I think that's what the kids get a lot out of, and the team, both Ann and I do that. And that is just a structured practice schedule.
Tell me about your own career here, and I can't remember if you played with Tiger or Noda or.
Yeah, so I was happy to share a few tidbits.
And where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a little small town in southern Minnesota called Austin.
I thought so. I didn't think you were from California.
Stanford for me, I didn't really even know what I was getting into until I got out here. I just knew that I wanted to play at a top level school. My dream was to actually play college football somewhere in the Midwest, and when Lou Holtz and their coaching staff told me Notre Dame wasn't, they said I was too slow, which I fully admit,
What was your position?
I was a nose guard.
Okay.
And so to make a career in golf is wild to think about from where I was during my high school years, but I had just enough golf resume to kind of get the attention of Wally Goodwin, who's a legendary guy, and he said, hey, if you can get into school, call me back. I might have a walk-on spot for you. I turned up my freshman year, and we win the national championship. So Nota Begay, Casey Martin, Brad Lanning, Willie Yanagazawa. I mean, we were stacked with some really good players, which was cool. And then my sophomore year, Tiger came in. And so I joke around. I spent 2 great years with Tiger, but I carried his luggage a lot because, the rule is the freshmen carry the luggage in the airport and load the van and all of that. But he made a bet with Nota his very first tournament. He said, if I win, I'm not touching another stitch of luggage. So sure enough, he goes back to New Mexico's event, and the Lobos hosted their big thing, and he wins by like 4 or 5 and never touched the luggage. The only problem with that was that I was the next guy on the list, so I had to do it. But, Tiger was a legend, still is a legend. He, I think about nowadays when we do a lot of recruiting all around the world, and you think about how much fanfare a kid gets if he wins 1 U.S. Junior, people sometimes lose track of that. By the time Tiger got to Stanford, he had won 3 U.S. Juniors and then won 3 consecutive U.S. amateurs in a row. So 6 USGA championships in a row.
Never be touched, never has been, and it'll never happen again.
Yeah.
And now, looking back to some of that, even thinking of just some of the numbers he posted in college golf, because I could remember being down at a Big Canyon Country Club and seeing 61, 61, 62.
Yeah.
I remember being in the clubhouse here, and you had just won a tournament, and Coach Goodwin posted all the numbers, and his numbers were ridiculous.
Yeah, I played in that Pac, it was a Pac-10 back then at Big Canyon, but I thought I played pretty well, and I was only getting beat after the 36th hole day by 14, and leave it to Tiger. Yeah, I mean his most amazing accomplishment too here: 11 wins in 2 years. Patrick Rogers has 11 wins in 3 years, and Maverick McNeely has 11 wins in 4 years.
His whole career. Yeah.
So think about that. And Tiger missed probably 2 or 3 events just because of the Masters and the World Am and that type of thing every year. So it's really amazing what he was able to do here as an amateur. And his amateur record, obviously his pro career speaks for itself, but his amateur record is unbelievable, won't be touched. This is our varsity clubhouse. We share this building with the women's program. This is inspiring just to walk in and see all the championships on the wall. So it's really neat to be able to have this space just to call home. And it's nothing fancy, but it really serves the purpose. I think one of the things we get the question a lot with recruits is like, what's the indoor space look like? Well, the weather, as you know, in NorCal, we have about 5 bad days.
Sure.
And so we've tried to keep this really simple and straightforward, and it's a good spot for the kids just to call home. We like to get together with the groups too. We have a lot of team meetings in this space, the conference room. Yeah, so the boardroom, we call it. So it's fun. We have Zoom nowadays is just a way of life, so we can conference people in.
Sure.
We had a great conference call with Maverick a couple weeks ago. He was Tuesday before the Genesis, and he spent like an hour and a half with us just talking with the guys and going through his routine.
That's wonderful.
So that was cool. This is kind of a fun board that we put up, just a few stats for the teams. The women have something similar you could look at too, but we were struggling with the last plate here, and then we figured out that was what
that has to be.
You can guess who that is.
Yeah, it's got to be that. And to me, because I'm a big Walker Cup fan, to have 18 Walker Cup team members, you wore a cap. That's a big deal in golf. Forever and ever.
If you haven't, for all the viewers out there, I think if you haven't been to a Walker Cup, you should try and go. I'm with you. It's the purest, coolest golf event you can attend, pro or amateur in the world. This is just a locker room, but it's a sacred place. Like, our guys can come in here. They all get a full-size space where they store their clubs.
I want to be a guest today.
Okay. Yeah, Pete, you can be a guest. We should have put your name tag on the top there.
That would have been fine.
But yeah, you can get a nice shower and a change and get your shoes dialed in. And maybe get a couple inspirational quotes on the board too.
Yeah.
Hey, TK. Oh, look who's coming in late, straight from Macau.
There you go. Pete Lakowski, good to see you, TK.
Yeah, this is TK Chantananuwat. Rachanan, as they want to.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Let's hear you say it.
Only took him a couple weeks. Rachanan, but he's got it down.
Yeah, cool.
TK just came in from the Asian tour. He just got off a flight last night, and he's been doing an awesome job. Really been our #1 player.
What did you play in?
I played at Macau Golf and Country Club. It was an Asian Tour International Series event. It was an open qualifying, actually, top 3 spots. Got a spot in the Open, top 3 finishes, got a spot in the Open, but I couldn't putt all week, so made the cut. But
okay, you had a good experience. You've played in something big though. Remind me what it is.
I've won in the Asian Tour.
I was going to say, you won an Asian Tour event at age what?
15.
That's amazing.
So TK's got a neat story. I've been doing it a while. He got in a year early to Stanford, so he presented his grades. We got him through admission, and he's actually a year younger than his grad year.
I just turned 18 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So he's been moonlighting a little bit during his breaks, being able to go play exempt on the Asian Tour. And now with all the intermingling with the various tours around the world, he's got some great opportunities to do that.
Out of all the tournaments you've been lucky enough to play, and including obviously the win, who's been the most fun to play with, like that was really good to you, that's a known amateur, a known pro golfer?
I would say Phil Mickelson. I'd say he changed my life. Like, without talking to him, I wouldn't be here at Stanford. I wouldn't be an amateur at all. It was my very first live event, and I was fortunate enough to be on his team. And he turned pro, I believe, a year or so. He went to college and graduated and then turned pro. So I was like, this is a great person to talk to. I've been given a great opportunity. College golf or go pro. Long story short, he said college golf, and I'm so glad he guided me in this direction, because I still feel like it's the right one.
Well, you're a little bit rare in that regard with the way the game has changed and everything, and I love the decision.
Yeah,
if you keep working on your game, you're going to get better.
Thanks.
He's literally just back.
Yeah, he just got off the plane.
See, the energy, the jet lag and all that. Is like,
just when you're to be 18 again, right?
Oh my gosh, he doesn't even look tired.
Yeah, no. This is pretty fun. I just want to show you this too, the Wall of Fame for us. It's really hard to get on the wall.
Yeah.
But you basically need to be a 4-time All-American, an NCAA champ, a major champ, or maybe a president of the USGA. Mr. Tatum was a legend in the game, but that's what happens. You coach too long, you start collecting all this memorabilia.
Right. Well, Mr. Tatum is, I didn't know him as well as I would like. I never played with him. He was behind me one time, and he had his hands on his waist, and I said to the guy we were playing with, I said, I don't know about you, but I don't want Sandy Tatum behind me with his hands on his waist.
He worked behind the scenes. He's a legendary guy. You've been around the Bay Area, know amateur golf enough, but that's one cool thing about the program. We've had, I think, 3, maybe 4 USGA presidents too. You think about Walter Driver and You think about Grant Spaeth and Mr. Tatum, but Tatum was an all-time legend. He was a mentor of mine before he passed, well into his 90s, and just loved Stanford, loved the amateur game. It's so fun, and we go up there now. I mean, what Harding Park has become for the city is a special place, right? And you think about the role that Sandy Tatum had in that, it's pretty awesome.
Well, you have been great to give of your time. You got a lot of responsibilities here. Your kids your students are just back after finals, and they're getting ready to go out and play some more golf.
Yeah, we're the finals. We're on quarters, so there's not many of us left in the country, but we do 3 quarters, 9-week cycles. The guys took finals, had a couple days off this weekend for their spring break, but we play, like I mentioned, the 56th annual Goodwin tournament this week at Stanford, and they're getting ready for that. And it's great to have you guys. I appreciate the work that amateurgolf.com's doing, and you, Pete, and all the coverage and the events that you put on. So fun to share our space with you today. For
Thanks,
sure.
Conrad.
Yeah, thanks a lot.